Hey howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. I am super excited about this video. I am going to be doing another project. It's not really a panning project, but more of a use project. One of my very favorite panning channels here on YouTube is Jade. Her channel name is Jade Loves Makeup, and she is phenomenal. I'll have her channel linked down below, but she is doing she used to call it Palette Love, and now she's calling it Love Your Eyeshadows Project. And I thought that it was a great idea. I just finished doing a eyeshadow palette declutter, and I will hopefully will have those videos edited and uploaded soon. But now that I have gotten my palette collection down to a more manageable size, I want to really start using my palettes. When I was going through my inventory, I realized that there were a lot of palettes that I have not touched, and I have had them for a couple of years. So I'm going to start out kind of sort of doing what Jade does. I will probably find my own style and my own groove as I go along, and, you know, develop this project into something that is more mine. But you got to start somewhere. So, and I'm not real sure what I'm going to call it. I may call it Palette Love. I may do the Love Your Eyeshadow thing. I'm not sure. I figure that out when I do the thumbnail and the title for the video. So the premise is just to actually use your eyeshadows. I'm going to start out doing eyeshadow palettes and single shadows. I don't want to overwhelm myself and not actually use the products. So that's where I'm starting. And then we'll see how that goes. And then I want to add in, I have like loose shadows, loose pigments, and I have eyeshadows that are like in the little pots. I'm not including that this time because I really don't like to use the little pots. I wish I could depot them out of that, and I might at some time. I may depot those and put them in little pans. And then I also want to use or include like my eyeshadow crayons and liquid shadows, those types of things. But for this video, we're going to start with eyeshadow palettes and single shadows, and I'm super excited. So I have all of my eyeshadow palettes in the Wheel of Names. I have 288 palettes. I am going to pick 3 palettes to use in the month. I will pick all 3 palettes, and then I will pick all of my single shadows, and then I will pull them and show them to you. So let's pick the first palette, ColourPop High Tide. And if I come across one that I have already used, I'm going to pull again because I want to use some that I have not used. Ulta Beauty. This will also help me to do another declutter too if I'm not really enjoying a palette. Number 3 is Soft Glam. I have used that palette, so I'm going to pick again. Ensly Reign Scorpio. Okay, so those are my 3 palettes, and now let's do the single shadows. I have 441 single shadows. It's going to take me a long time to get through those, but again, this will help me learn how to declutter, you know, which ones I want to declutter. I noticed when I was organizing them that I have quite a few that look very, very similar. So I'm going to pick 5 shadows and create a little palette to use. So let's pick the first. Shop Miss A Jade. Makeup Geek, getting Figgy with it. Number 3. Tangy Citrus, Sydney Grace. Number 4. Sydney Grace Golden Rose. I'm writing them down so I know which ones to pull. And number 5. Makeup Geek Firefly. So like I said, this is just to help me use my products. I'm not trying to use them up. I'm not trying to hit pan. I'm not sure if I will set any usage goals. I might. So let me pull the products and then we will come back and I will show them to you. Quickly, I will show you my palettes. These are the big Gimme Glow palettes. When they went on sale, I bought 2 of them. They don't have these anymore, which is a shame. And as you can see, I'm decorating mine with stickers. So these are all of my mattes. There are a few satins in here. And this one houses all of my shimmers. I do have some other palettes that have other shadows in them, and I will be adding to my single collection because when I did my declutter, my eyeshadow palette declutter, some of those I will be depotting to use as a single shadow. So let me find these in these ginormous palettes and I'll be right back. So for my palettes, the wheel picked High Tide. It's a very pretty palette. I think I have used it once. I can see a little bit of disturbance there, but I think that was the only shade that I used. I didn't think that I had used this one, but I am going to go ahead and keep it because we're starting to head into spring, right? Right? So this will make a nice spring palette. And then it chose the Ulta Beauty Sunset Skies palette, which is so hard to open. It's ridiculous how hard it is to open this palette. This is what the Sunset Skies looks like, and it still has the shade saver on it with the names because I have not used it at all. That's a nice little palette. I got this palette at the little kiosk things that they have at the checkout where they put things on sale. I think that this one was on sale, and I've never tried a Ulta Beauty eyeshadow palette, so I wanted to try it. I think this little palette was like, I don't know, $10 or something. And then it picked the Ensly Reign Scorpio palette, and I bought this palette because I am a Scorpio and I have never used it. I had said that I was going to use it in November for my birthday, and then I did not. But look at how beautiful that palette is. So I'm super excited to finally play with that palette. Moving on to the singles, I unknowingly did have all of my shadows grouped together, so I had to redraw one of them. The Makeup Geek Firefly is actually a loose pigment, so I redrew for that one. But starting out with the Shop Miss A Jade. This is the Shop Miss A Jade, and I will swatch them so you can see what they look like together swatched. This shadow is very hard. It's pressed very tightly. I'm trying not to hard pan it, but I can already see that it's trying to hard pan itself. The next shadow was the Makeup Geek Getting Figgy with it, and I didn't show you the palette that I have my Makeup Geek shadows in. I'll show you that here in just a minute. I intend to do a single shadow inventory. So next was the Sydney Grace Tangy Citrus, and I bought this shadow because it is a favorite of a friend of mine, Zach Dooley. He has a channel here on YouTube. I will have him linked down below. Oh, that's really pretty. The next shade was Sydney Grace Golden Rose. It's very pretty. And then I redrew and I got Sydney Grace Long Journey, which is a matte, which is good because I have 3 shimmers and only 1 matte, so this gives me another matte, and yeah, that's going to go really well. So here are the swatches. We have the Shop Miss A Jade, and then we have the Makeup Geek Getting Figgy with it. We have Sydney Grace Tangy Citrus, Sydney Grace Golden Rose, and then Sydney Grace Long Journey. So I think that those are very nice. I'm not sure about the Shop Miss A. That did not swatch very well, and like I said, it's already trying to hard pan. Here is what they look like in my little palette. I'm super excited. This is going to be so much fun, and I'm so happy to actually get some usage out of my single shadows. So this is the Sydney Grace eyeshadow palette, of course with all of my stickers, that houses some of my Makeup Geek shadows. These are all square pans, and these mattes here are part of the Makeup Geek matrix, the matte matrix. There was, or like nudes and neutrals, I can't remember. I should have looked because I have the other one that's very colorful, and the rest of these colorful shadows in here are also all Makeup Geek that I purchased when they were going out of business. So I house these in this palette, and I have it numbered so that I can find the shadows easily, and this is where the shadow was that I just pulled. Like I said, I will be doing a video going over all of my single shadows and like an inventory video. So my intention is to use these. I will do monthly updates. In my monthly updates, I hope to kind of do a ranking, rank the palettes as I use them, and rank the single shadows as well, so that you can get a sense of how the brand performs even with the single shadows. I might even attempt to do some looks with them, some get ready with me type videos, who knows. So thank you so much for journeying along with me in this new venture to show my palettes and my single shadows some love. Make sure you go down in the description box and check out Jade. I will have her link down below, but before you do, make sure you show that like button some love. And as always, I'd like to remind you that makeup is meant to enhance the natural beauty that you already are, and we are all beautiful at any age and any size. Find something to be grateful for today, pull your makeup out and play with it, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you, bye. Christopher, here is your makeup tip from Yo Mama. Dramatic eyeshadows are for dramatic exits. So flip your hair and stride purposely. Mama loves you, boo.